they could then laser engrave Shakira board, what are them boards called?
Charcuterie boards.
Charcuterie boards. Shakira. Hi, I'm Steve from 123D. Today we are doing a little bit of a promotional video, shall I say. So we've collaborated with Alien Cell over the X1 and decided to bring you, the viewers, a deal that you cannot turn away.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Right in theme with the World Cup. Everybody loves the World Cup, right? And Father's Day. So basically the Alien Cell X1 and any accessories carry a sale price throughout this period, just to celebrate the World Cup and obviously give people the opportunity to buy their bestest father in the whole wide world the ultimate present, the X1. For anybody who isn't familiar with the machine, we've now done 2 other videos on it. We did an initial unboxing and then a long-term review video. We are still using the machine heavily and we've produced some World Cup merch, I will call it, albeit very, very custom or customizable, just to give a little bit more of an insight into what the actual capabilities of the machine are and just some random things that you can actually produce should you so choose to. First off, I created a very, very simple but easy leatherette effect World Cup themed bookmark, so you can sit that in your sticker album, mark the pages where you need to put more stickers in or to follow on where you left off. I gave Dan free rein. So I said, Dan, create some World Cup themed items. He did a very good job, to be fair. So he's created a very, very nice little coaster or beer mat. I mean, it's a prime beer mat. I don't know about you, but beer mats here in the UK typically made of cardboard. If every pub just had plastic beer mats, they could wipe them and reuse them forever, saving money. Just a thought. Any brewers out there want to adopt this idea, I'm available for commissions. Yeah, so this is very, very good. And I don't know why, like I just said, why people aren't. I mean, yes, it does not absorb like cardboard does, but cardboard always gets to a point where it becomes soggy mess and just disintegrates and renders it useless because it has absorbed its own body weight in beer. Then we did some quite humorous themed slate coasters. So World Cup 2026, no Scotland, no party. Come on, the boys in green, to all our Irish colleagues out there. Big up Dave Doyle. I know that you're a subscriber. And finally, the English. I mean, the dude is traditionally English. He's got a pint in his hand. Looks like a first-class lager lout, and he's wearing a bucket hat. What more can I say? Then we generated a little backdrop, the Hollywood backdrop. We've visited that kind state, and we rejiggled the letters to create World Cup 2026. Then, yes, we have the mascots from the World Cup. Again, these are just literally laser engraved from a colour photograph straight onto a bit of MDF. Bit tricky with some of the colour images that have got very detailed shading, but overall the results are very satisfying. And I came up with a very, very good idea for this piece. So again, this is on a piece of 2-coloured acrylic. So the backing is green, the actual covering on the front is black. The laser engraves through the black, exposing the green. Now my plan for this is we're going to mount it on the wall. We'll get a Sharpie, and any teams that are knocked out, we can literally cross off from our chart, making it a perfect addition to your World Cup themed viewing. That aside, let's talk a little bit more about the laser. So we've had this machine now for not quite 6 months, but we're clocking on to that time period. I can't say this enough, guys. This machine has never once let us down in any way, shape or form. We do look after it. Obviously, we will periodically take out the sponge filters from the back and clean them. We do make sure that the filters in the actual air purifier unit, which we'll also list in the description below, and we'll put some Gucci pictures of it on screen. We clean those filters out. They are consumable filters, but I found from my own personal experience, to give a bit more of a prolonged lifespan, you can literally pull them out, get your hoover on them, give them a good hoover, remove any removable filters that are washable, and obviously they can wash them and then dry them out before refitting, and you're golden. The air assist comes with the machine, and again you can use that in an automatic capacity or totally manual, and it will connect to the laser via Bluetooth or hardwired. We have tried both work exceptionally well, and also that functionality does transition across to the air purifier as well. So for any reason you want to mount the air purifier away from your machine, given the length of your hosing of course, you can absolutely do that because it will communicate with the laser via Bluetooth, and it will basically increase or decrease the power based on the amount of air pollution, I will say, that the machine detects. Sorry to interrupt, I'm Steve from the future. Just to let you guys know, we do have a website to fulfill all of your 123 3D printing needs. So if you haven't done so already, please do check out the link in the description where you can have a browse across our whole product range. And if you're outside the UK, please don't forget to check out our sister stores. We have these based in the Netherlands, in Ireland, and also in Sweden. Back to the video. It's a very, very clever piece of kit. And as I say, for us, we're not avid laser enthusiasts. That is not our first port of call. But this machine has made that process exceptionally easy. Yes, we have played around with it. Yes, we have tweaked certain things and whatever else. We've followed all the current updates that Alien Cell have released for the machine, whether it be the machine firmware or the actual software, Alien Space software. They have now implemented some new features into Alien Space software, so you can actually custom make profiles for given materials that aren't listed in there by default. There's a lot of scope in the software to actually perform calibrations and settings. It's all self-contained. It's very, very easy to use. I will come around to the front of the machine and give you a brief overview of the front. Right, first off, I will start at this side. So we've got PM, air quality, basically. The machine does monitor the internal air quality. Currently idle, we're sat at 0.43, very, very low. As you start cutting, depending on the material type, you will see that number increase. If it gets to a level of high 500 and the machine starts telling you, stop, we are very, very toxic, that's a prompt to check the filters in the back or your actual extraction. Make sure everything's hooked up right and all your filters are clean. You want as best airflow as you possibly can get through the filters to ensure that the internal air quality remains at a stable level. Then we have the really, really nice touchscreen. As you can see, very large. I have a message. Let me see what the message says. The exhaust fan signal error. Please verify the hardware is connected. So because we just bought this from the workshop, we've removed the module from the back, which is basically the exhaust extractor unit. Again, the machine is clever enough to know that that is not connected, and it is advising us to make sure it is connected or check the connections. So very, very simple and easy features. And you get any errors, it tells you what they are and what to potentially look for. The only other error message I've ever had on this machine, I'd cut some, I'm going to say quite thick, maybe 12mm ply, and tweaking around with the settings to get the optimal settings for the cut in it, I did produce an awful lot of smoke, which in turn clogged up the actual fan to the cooling element on the diode laser unit, and it alarmed me. The unit was overheating. It stopped it. I removed the laser. I took off the cover for the actual fans, give them a clean out, blew out any dust that was loose in there in between the heat sinks for the diode laser, clipped it back together, refitted it, and we were golden again. Perfect, no problems at all. Stat wise, so we have in this dimension, you have a capability of a material width of up to 630mm, which is quite large. And then front to back, we've got 480mm. The laser is fully auto-focusing, and it does move up and down on the Z to gain optimal focus range. Now, I will remove la honeycomb. We're going all out French theme for some reason. Now, obviously, as you can see, here is our honeycomb bed. We have profusely abused this bed. We do have another one, which is a nice shiny new one, which we use for exhibitions. But the honeycomb beds are also available on the website as an extra item because the machine does come stock fitted with slats, which given your application, you have the choice. And the thing that I like is when you have the slats fitted, you can remove your soil tray or spoil tray. Basically where all your remnants drop through the mesh or through the slats into the tray. You can then remove the whole tray like so and empty it out and give it a clean. It will also alert you that the tray is removed, so it won't let you start this unless you tell it that you want to start it without the tray. Now, why would you want to start it without the tray? If you've got an item that is slightly taller than you can fit in the machine, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you stacking the machine up on a couple of blocks and then running your material under the machine and then engraving where you want to. So that is another option. It's just a very, very versatile and capable piece of machinery, and we love it. What else can I say? Inside again, we have full lighting down both sides, so once the machine is up and running, you can look through the top screen to obviously monitor your cut or your engrave, but you also have an internal camera right in this very corner here, which will give you a live feed, which is also handy because if you're, you know, a little bit away from the machine and you want to just monitor how far through your job you're actually at or make sure it's doing what you want it to do, you can remotely monitor that as well. On top of that, we've got 2 cameras built into the lid, which are your AI cameras, basically to align your material to your vector. So again, it makes it very, very simple to actually place. You can use the framing on the machine as well. So if you need something to be really, really precise, I would recommend using the framing function. That works perfectly. We've done a couple of engraves where we've wanted to get right up to the very edge, an already cut piece of material, whereas this one was cut out of a sheet. So we literally just popped a full sheet of material in the engraver, captured it with the actual built-in cameras, then placed our vectors in the designated spot. It then proceeds to go and engrave before then going around and cutting the actual part out. So very, very easy to use. You also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fire detection cameras. So flame detectors basically. You've got 5 at the back, 4 across the front, and these monitor the chamber. If there is flames or things untoward happening, it will alert and stop the machine, so you can investigate, extinguish the fire, which we've not had one yet, and then proceed. So I've already mentioned we have autofocusing on the laser. All axes are driven basically on metal V wheels and belts. The way that the actual runners are situated, they are basically a steel rod inserted into a track. It's closed off around the actual rods, so cleaning, obviously for those of you who are quite familiar with diode lasers and whatever else, they do make an awful lot of soot and mess, dust and all kinds. So it's quite important to make sure that the internals of your machine are always kept clean and, you know, well maintained. You don't want a build-up of grime.
What you mean?
On the runners or the V-wheels, because then your accuracy and whatever else is going to start to suffer as a result of that. But Alien Cell have made it really, really easy to give everything a good clean down. And as I say, we have absolutely abused this machine, and it just takes, you know, minimal time. Bit of spray, give a spray around on the inside, let it sit there for a minute, then some paper towel, give it a good wipe off, let it dry out, and you're good. You've got QR code stickers in all 4 corners, another one on the back. These are for your calibration process, so basically calibrates the machine, make sure that your camera's set right and all of that stuff, and it's just simple. There's pretty much no manual intervention needed. So that is the externals of the machine. Laser modules, yeah, Chris has just give a good shout. So laser modules, another advantage of the machine, you can literally swap and change laser modules. So at this moment in time, we've got a 40-watt laser fitted. You can very easily buy all 3 modules. So you can have a 20-watt, a 40-watt and a 60-watt module, and they are all cross-compatible. So if you wanted to go into fine engraving, you could literally remove the 40-watt laser, fit the 20-watt laser, and then go and fill your boots with really, really fine, intricate engravings. It will cut thin material, but nothing too heavy. So I would guess, you know, acrylic sheets that are like 2 or 3 mil thick, you would absolutely be fine with a 20-watt laser to cut out those. If you wanted to do a bit more substantial items like plywood MDF, yeah, it's like 6 mil upwards, I would suggest looking at the 40-watt laser. And if you're going all out and you just want to churn through massive thick stock, this 60-watt laser would 100% do that job. My experience, the 40-watt laser is perfectly adequate for fine detail and cutting. So it's giving you the middle ground. That is the laser. The laser itself, you have a magnetic probe on the side, very, very similar to the old style CR Touch probes that we used to get on 3D printers. Basically a pin pops out, it will then move on the Z-axis down. When the pin touches, it will then move off to your material, probe the material. When the pin touches again, it works out the offset for your optimal focal length. So it's really, really easy, and it gives you a nice red crosshair laser as well. So you can manually move the laser to the middle of your stock, line it up with a crosshair, and you can get a visual representation that way. So very, very nice features, very simple to use, as I said before. The laser is fitted with 2 fans on the top to make sure that you get optimal cooling through the actual diode unit, and then you've got the air assist on the side and the actual signal power cable behind that. So that really is that part done. Again, backed up with a very, very nice chunky cable chain that runs along the track behind the laser. It's all very well thought out. Then on the side of the machine, we have a nice big red shiny emergency stop button, which kills power instantly. Then we have our inputs and whatever else. So you can hook up the machine via a USB. You've got USB-C. Then you've got your link ports. So we've got 4 ports here that basically allow you to add peripherals, i.e. the air purifier unit, the air assist unit. There is a rotary module and a few other bits and pieces that Alien Cell have obviously got coming up in the pipeline. A few more things worth noting. Around the machine, if I can get it off, there we go. So with the aid of a scraper. So around the actual machine, on this side, as you've just seen there isn't one on that side. Here we have an access panel. Behind said access panel, we have a main control board with all the wiring. Now, the reason for this is if you ever need to perform any maintenance to the machine or check anything, you can quite simply just remove the panel and then visually inspect what is going awry inside. It saves you having to strip the whole case off the machine. So for serviceability, they have thought of pretty much everything that you need, and it's just a simple thing, but they thought about it and they've implemented it, because for me, I couldn't see anything worse. If I had to repair this machine for any reason, which I absolutely have not to this point in time, reading the guide on the wiki, it is very possible to obviously remove the whole plastic casing from the machine, but do you really want to do that just to get access to a board? Not really. So they've made a flap, a panel that you remove with full access. Then behind that, you have your main on and off power switch. Then here we have two pneumatic push fit fitting adapters. The one at the front is for your air assist, and the one behind that is for fire extinguisher, fire suppression. And then around the back of the machine, we have got the exhaust ports with some contacts. Very, very clever design for this. It is universal. You can switch which way around you want it, because basically the actual extraction hose comes out the side. So depending on which way you want to extract the machine, you literally just rotate it, clip it on. It is basically got dual connectors, so you can have it in any orientation that you want. Again, the simple things that they've actually thought about to implement into the machine to make the usability and functionality of it second to none. In my opinion, second to none. It's just great. It is just a nice piece of kit, and I keep banging on about how nice it is, and everywhere that we've gone with the machine, everybody has complimented how nice it is and are amazed by the price point. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. This is a fair piece of machinery, or electronics, or electronical machinery, because that is basically what it is. It has both in it. So my good old pal Ross, Firehammer Video, we will leave a link in the description to his video. He has reviewed this machine after he met up with us at Smurf. He was blown away by the quality of it. This man, just for the record, if you haven't watched any of his videos, is the most impossible man to please, and rightly so. You know, at the end of the day, he's giving real user experience feedback to you, the viewer, and he wants you to make an informed decision if you want to buy something based off his decision and his experiences with the brand, the equipment, and whatever else. Please go check out that video, because apart from setting fire to something, which was acclaimed in his own words to be totally his own fault, he had nothing bad to say about this machine. And honestly, the way that current technology is going, my relationship that I've built up with Alien Cell since them approaching us back at the beginning of the year has been excellent. Their customer service, listening to customer feedback, helping remedy problems through their Facebook group and whatever else. And these are user problems, not machine problems. They are very, very forthcoming to give you solutions to any problems that you have, and they do 100% listen to any suggestions that you have to improve in any way, shape or form, whether that be the machines, firmware updates, software updates for Alien Space software, or whatever else. They are really, really good, guys. And again, the backstory for Alien Cell, they are a new brand in the world of laser, but they are not a new company. They are a new company under the name Alien Cell, but the founders of Alien Cell basically were software development for Chitu systems and Chitu Box, which, for those of you who are not familiar with that, Chitu Box was one of the first resin slicers readily available that everybody loved. It was very, very feature rich. It was packed with lots of useful applications. They were constantly developing it and everything else, and then they branched out into making resin printed consumables and accessories, shall we say. And again, they absolutely smashed that, and they've now decided to diversify into the world of lasers as well. So with this machine, I can confirm this machine runs on Linux. It isn't running Gerbil or anything like that. This is a high powered piece of machinery that gives you optimal functionality and usability. It's great in a nutshell. It's not a cheap DIY job that's been thrown together in somebody's garage over a weekend and then mass produced for the beta tester consumer. This is a finished product that has been developed, tried and tested again and again and again before they've made the decision to actually release it to the masses. So yeah, check out Ross's video, check out our videos, and make the most of the sale, guys, because the sale will only be a limited time offer. We will put links in the description to when the sale runs from and to, and also with the prices that we can offer on the machine, the honeycomb bed, the air purification unit, or whether it be individual or a bundle item, whatever, we will get it there for you and we will get it nailed. That is it from me. I'm off to watch England. I'm out.
You got to hold